the sun coming in from the window is messing up my glasses, but anyways, hi everyone, I'm Missy from Mitzi's Magic, and today I'm going to do a quick little tutorial that I hope comes out because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm going to wing it and see what happens. But I'm working on a new canon character, Reno of Final Fantasy, and I'm going to use this picture here of his weapon as reference. I have another picture saved on my laptop for size reference on how big it is on him, and I am going to be using some PVC pipings. I have some wooden dowels of various sizes and widths. I have this PVC end cap, and I have these little like furniture slide end pieces. I'm going to see if I could put something together. In addition to that, I should be ordering some molding clay for like these little button pieces here, and this little furniture end cap will go on the end here so that it's a little wider. I'm probably going to order some like golfing grip tape for this little black piece here, and then use some silver spray paint for the rest of it. So the first things first is I'm going to try to assemble these so that it sort of takes on this shape here. And then if all turns out well, I will go ahead and order the molding clay and some golfing grip tape and see how that comes out. You could also use some black fabric that has these little crisscrosses in it, or black fabric and draw in some little crisscrosses. But I'm going to go ahead and just get some golf grips because I think that will look best for that part of it. Anyways, if you would like to see more videos like these where I do tutorials on how I throw stuff together, go ahead and hit the follow and subscribe button and you'll know when those come up. I did a wig dyeing tutorial that I need to edit and put together, and some other goodies. So if you want to see stuff like that, follow me. Thanks. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, first things first. It looks like this weapon has 3 different sizes. I will probably just use like maybe a glue gun to get like these little dents. So it won't be like completely perfect, but I also have a Dremel that I could probably maybe dig into the wood to get some of these widths here. I think the biggest piece of this is going to be this PVC piping because this dowel fits in there. So I will cut it down to size so that this will be the biggest part of the handle. Glue this in a little bit. I'm going to mark how far I want it to be glued in so it'll be secure. And then measure the length of how long I want it to be. And then cut that off. I do have a jigsaw to do that. So I will have to do that outside. And then the smallest piece of his weapon will be this piece. So once I have it sawed in, I'm going to attach this with a little screw bit. So what I'll probably do is drill a hole in one end of this and make sure that the screw will fit into here. I've done something like that before where I screw in part of it here. I will cut off the tip of the screw and then just like screw this in and then glue it all in. So this will be like the smallest piece. And then the end of it is, I think this is going to be too big for the end of it though. It's going to stick out too much. And I don't know if I can take this down, but it looks like there's a little rubber piece on the inside. So if I'm able to detach this metal plastic piece here from this rubber piece, then I could trim the rubber piece down so it'll look better on the end of this tip here and look more like this little piece right here. If you can see that, this little piece right here, I'm going to use hopefully this. You can see the little rubber piece in here. I'm going to try to take this plastic piece off and then size this down so that when it screws into here, it will be more size to this tip right here. And of course, this is going to be the smaller wood piece that I'm going to screw in. This will be the medium wood piece here that I'm going to glue into the bigger PVC piece. And then I have this end cap here for that piece right there. I have some like rounded hooks here that are like little nails that I could probably screw and nail into this piece so it has that tip on it. And then, of course, like I said, this will be the grip tape and maybe some crafting foam, and do like a little circle, paint, and then glue that on. I think that might work better if I do like a little foam piece for that. So that's how I'm going to try to put this all together. So I'm going to measure these and glue them together. So, and then of course try to measure it to my body so that it is sort of the same size as pictured body width wise. When you see Reno holding it on the back of his neck, it's probably like about this big to him. So let's give this a try, see how it goes. I'm going to measure this out first. Okay, so I just used my Reno reference, and maybe I'll put a picture up here on this pot, but I see him holding it like this and very relaxed, so it does have to come out this far, but then there's still like a little bit of an extended piece right here, which looks like it's probably another, like, I don't know, 5 inches or so. So if I take this out to my little board here, I'm thinking like 30, 31 inches ought to do it. So I'm going to make it about 30 inches just to be safe, because I want it to look big enough for if I do wear it at cons, but I also want it to fit in this this portrait size screen if I do TikToks or videos. I don't want it to be like completely out of frame, so I want it to be small enough that it fits in frame, but still kind of sized to like how it is on his picture references. Okay, here are the measurements I have so far. According to the picture, when he's holding his baton, the largest part of the baton hits about where his neck and shoulder meet. So on my body, that measured from about 14 to 30 inches. So that's going to be the biggest part. And I marked the part where I need to cut off right here. And then for the part that I'm going to glue in, and that leaves 7 inches. And then the bottom 2 smaller pieces look to be about equal length. And since I have 14 inches left for the size that I want to make this, I'm going to make them 7 inches each. I want to glue this in about 2 inches to make sure it's nice and secure. So I made a mark here where it's going to be how deep I want to glue it in. And then right here is how long it's going to be. I have a little mark here. So this is where I'm going to cut it off. And then this last little piece here is also going to be 7 inches, but since it's going to be glued into the tip here, and then the nice flat surface is going to be where I screw the 2 pieces together, and that will give like the little bump between the 2 sides. If you look at the picture, you can see there is a little right here where the 2 pieces meet. I'll have to, let's see, there we go. Where the 2 pieces meet, you can see like an actual size difference. So when I screw these 2 pieces on, that will create that little gap there. And hopefully it'll be nice and sturdy when I stick them together with the screw. So I am going to go outside and jigsaw these down to size, which I probably won't film because that's a lot of work to move my camera around when I'm setting stuff up. So I'm just going to go cut these down to size and then come back and we'll put these together. I am also a flow artist and hoop dancer, and I completely forgot I have this handy dandy little PVC cutting tool from when I used to make my own hoops. So I'm going to use this to cut my PVC pipe because it's going to come out nice and clean with this. That will cut that down to size. And then also I found the little hooky thing that I was talking about a little while ago. I built this schoolie, so I have all kinds of weird screws stuff in my arsenal. And this is called a poultry net staple. So you can see it's like a nail with a little hoop in it. I'm going to use that to nail into this piece here. And because it's going to go on the end of this PVC pipe, and I want it to not slide, I'm going to drill little holes in it and then glue it into place. And that will give this little hook piece here. And that will be the little hook piece there. So poultry net staple. Also, I always keep all the little odds and ends from furniture that I've built, and I think rather than trying to cut this down to size for the small piece, I found these little handy dandy little things. You see that? And I think that's going to fit on the end of this much better. If it doesn't, then I will go back to my original idea of trying to saw this plastic piece off and then cutting this down to size and nailing this into the tip of it. But like I said, well, let's look at it right now. All right. Let's see. It either fits on the end or we'll have to cut it down. But if it, oh my God, it just caps on the end. Look at that. Perfect. I'm just going to glue this on for that little end piece then. Obviously it's not exact, but I think if I cut this little edge piece off here, the little part that like sticks out a little bit, it would probably work out better, but I don't think I even need to do that. I mean, I know people that are like super vigilant about being really canon would probably cut that little tip off, but I don't know, we'll see. I think, but I just like the fact that it fits on there perfect. So it doesn't stick out as wide as this piece here. See how it sticks out a little bit? But yeah, I like that that fits on there. I could always, actually what I could do is like just hot glue gun around this so that it's even all the way around to this tip, and that would give it the thickness that it needs. So that is an option that I will keep in mind. But for now, let's cut. So if you have one of these PVC cutters, I don't know if you know how to use it, you just open it up, you pull it apart. I'm going to line this up with the line where I want to cut the blade, and get up a little bit more. I'll use a table here to get it to like where I want it to start, right there. And there we go. And then I'm just going to sand this down to get it a little bit straighter. But actually, this is a nice, actually neither one of them, but this is a straighter edge, so I'll probably use this for the connecting piece, and then I'm going to use the piece that I cut because it's a little wider than a typical hoop that I cut, so I don't know how straight it came out, but if I use this side for the end cap, it doesn't matter. So I'll just decide which side is the straighter side and file it down, and then this end cap on the side that is not as even, and then of course stick this little poultry net staple in the end of it for that little loop. So this part is, whoops, this part is done. I'm going to go cut my wood dowels. I have my jigsaw out, and then I have these, they're drywall screws. I can't talk. They're drywall screws, but I like how long that they are. Again, I built a schoolie a little while ago, so I have like a huge variety of screws. But what I like about these, let me take them out, is that they're nice and long, and the threads go pretty high up. So what I'll do is I'll screw it in to this little piece as deep as I can go, leaving like halfway in to give it like some stability. And then what I'm going to do is use a jigsaw with the metal bit and cut it off where the thread starts, and then I can screw this other piece into it so that they'll be connected. So I'm hoping that will work. We'll see. And I'm going to go outside and cut and not bring my camera, so I will be right back. Okay, so I'll hold this piece up to my neck. The handle part came to about right there, and it's not glued in yet, so it's sliding around. I'm going to hold this like so, and yeah, that's a good length. I'm happy with the sizing of that. So I just have to glue it all down, Dremel in the grooves. The grip tape's going to go about to here. Another groove, button, groove, groove, grip tape. Grip tape comes in tomorrow, so let me get these glued in, or decide if I want to do the dremeling first. I think I should glue it in first, that way I kind of know where the lines or grooves for these little pieces here. You can see it's kind of like indented there, 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 and there. So those are the pieces I want to Dremel in. Okay, and I'm back, and I got this little piece into the end cap here, and that's going to go on the end of this, and it will be this little end piece here. Let's try to get to it. Okay, so I have this, it's called friction tape that I used to use on my hoop build. So I'm going to use this friction tape here and cover this part that's going to be glued down. Give it a little bit of a tighter fit so that when it's glued down, it'll stick more, because you can see there's a little bit of give in there. So let me do this. Okay, let's cut this, and then we'll see how it fits, and then we'll just keep layering it till we get a good fit on this. Let's see how that is. Oh, actually, just this one, I have to kind of screw it on like so. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to add some glue to it. Worked so hard to undo it, and I have some glue gun over here. Let's see if it's warm enough. And it is. And then we're going to start screwing it in. Make sure I have the straighter end here. And start screwing it in. Okay. Well, the good news is it's not wiggly. It's in there tight. The bad news is I couldn't get it in there as far as I wanted to, up to this mark. But honestly, I put it up this far so that I knew it was a little wiggly, and I thought the glue would keep it from coming out, but this thing is not going anywhere. It's in there because I hammered it in. But I'm going to have to take this excess glue off, so I'll probably get an X-Acto knife, and then I could take this excess glue off, and let's see, this part here, I'm going to have to take the extra tape off as well, because I'm going to do some Dremel work around this end here so that I can get this little dent part here in there. So I'm going to go get the X-Acto knife and get my Dremel and get the designs cut into it, and then it's evening time right now, so I want to spray paint this outside, so I'll do it tomorrow, and then my grip tape should come tomorrow, so I might be able to finish this tomorrow, which will be nice. It's like a quick little one-day project. So I will be back. The next thing I'm going to do is mark out all these little notches here, this little deep groove here, which is in this part of the wood. So it's nice that the deepest part of the notch is in the wood. And then after this, the rest of it looks pretty straight and flush. So I'm just going to add the end piece here. So I need to put a deep groove here, leave room for some tape right here. Another little groove here between where the button's going to go. So I need to kind of like look at this and space it out evenly. So I'm going to get a little pencil and draw out where I want to Dremel in the grooves. And it looks like I'm going to have to do some of it on this plastic piece here. That's where the button goes, is up here. So I will do that next. Be back. Okay, so the skinny parts were easy to do with the Dremel, and the wider wood part was fairly easy to get. Like, again, I don't know if you can see it from here. There's like a little groove, but the plastic, the thick part, didn't go around in a good straight circle. You can say I missed the lines here. Oops, I can miss the lines here. So I tried to go back over it with a skinny Dremel, but I'm going to have to use silicone or something to fix that, because the wide part on the plastic, the Dremel was just slipping around and it kind of messed it up. So I'm going to have to figure out how to tweak it and cover that up, make it nice again, which I'm sure it's doable somehow. I'd probably use silicone or something, since this is plastic, to fill it back in and make it look more like the groove. So yeah, it would be so much easier if I had a 3D printer, but I don't. So I'm making do with what I have. So let's see, I just need to put this piece on, and I think I need to glue it on. And that kind of gives it that edge there. So I just need to spray this all silver tomorrow. Actually, I need to figure out the cap part, how I'm going to do this. And yeah, actually I might be able to take this tape, cut it in half, and fill it up so that it's one big thick piece, and then, oops, paint it all. So, and then paint it tomorrow, and then the grip tape will come in, and then I will draw a little foam piece and paint it red and glue that on, and it should be done. And then on to the jacket. I did end up using some of that friction tape to bring this out a little bit, and pressed in the tape towards the bottom there so that it looks more like the wider tip that's on here. So tomorrow I will spray paint it all silver, and then when the grip tape comes in, I'll put the grip tape on, and then I'll just do some kind of like shading painting here so that it'll make the grooves stand out a little bit more. I think it'll work. Almost. This was like a quickie little project, just PVC pipe, wood dowels, and a PVC cap. You could probably use like a nail or something to do this if you don't. I'm sure you're not going to want to buy a whole box of that, what was it called, poultry net nail or whatever it was called. And then this was just something I had from a furniture build left over, but so I ended up not using these little things here. So that's it for today, and I'll be back tomorrow with the painting and the grip tape. Hello, welcome to day 2 of Reno's prop build. Today I'm going to take some foam and draw out the buttons that I want to glue on here, so that it resembles this little button here. And that way when I paint the silver, it will be included, it'll already be glued on and painted silver. And then I will go back in with the red to do the red button. So I got two buttons, one slightly smaller than the other, and I'm going to use those as a reference for drawing my little button. The button is on two levels. One is kind of like a U shape with the square that ends on where one of the edges are. And then the little red button is on top of that. So that's what I'm going to do, cut two different shapes out. Okay, I have my two shapes cut out. The button is going to go on top of this little round shape. So you can see the button looks like it's a little elevated, that piece. So I am going to, and then this goes above this second line here. I just want to make sure it fits before I start gluing, and it does. Okay. I head up gluing on the button piece with the glue gun, and then I glue gun the whole piece on. So now I have the little button piece, let's see here, and so when I got glue stuck to my finger now. So now when I spray paint it, everything will be silver, and then I just need to go back in and paint this top piece red after it's all dry. But other than that, everything is going to be silver. The grip tape comes in this evening, so I will be putting the grip tape on later, which is perfect because it'll give this a chance to fully dry. And I may do 2 coats depending on how this comes out, but I think I might sand this plastic part of it down a little bit to help the glue stick a little bit. And yeah. Okay, I just so happen to have this metal paint and primer, bonds to plastic, so I didn't have to sand down the plastic part, and let's go out and spray paint. Okay, it's all spray painted, that metallic silver. I'm not really feeling how the wooden parts came out, but I really wanted to build this all on the PVC piping because you can see it goes on a little more smoothly, but I couldn't find them in the right sizes, so it will just have to do. If you know of a way to smooth out the wood, drop it in the comments. Otherwise, if you have a 3D printer, they do have 3D printing instructions online, but I don't have a 3D printer, so I just kind of had to make do with what I can use. I went over a couple of coats to try to get over the words. This is the opposite side. You could still kind of see the lettering coming through, but since that part's going to be covered in grip tape, I'm not too worried about it. So I'm just going to let it sit out here and cure for a little while and then bring it back in. I'm back. Okay, so this is where we're at. Everything's all silver. What I'm going to do is mix a little white and this metallic black together to add a little shading to the grooves, and I ended up not filling in this like funky dented part that I did. I'm just going to wing it with some paint. These little skinny pieces came out pretty good, and this one on the wood came out pretty good, but I'm going to shade it with a lighter shade of gray by mixing these two, and then I'm going to paint the red with a little bit of this red acrylic. Dearest daughter, sorry, but I didn't have any red, and I raided your paint stash. But I only need a little bit, so. Okay, so, got my little bowl of water here. I think I'm going to do the gray first, because that's the most amount of painting that I have to do. And, I'm going to mix it in this bowl. This is my little water bowl. Okay. It's getting that time of year where I'm going to have to start running my air conditioner because it's getting warm here. Okay. I don't want to waste any paint, so let's just do a little at a time. I'm just going to do a drop of this white here. Here we go. And a drop of this black, a couple drops. Let's see how this comes out. What do you think? I think that might work. Okay. Let's try this. Yes, that's much better. Okay. And that kind of like fixes the banged up areas, which, I don't know, it just kind of gives it some texture anyways. It is a weapon. And I'm going to go ahead and do these smaller pieces here. Add a little shadow towards the pieces where it looked like it connected. I think that looks good. Now we just need to paint the red button here. Okay, it came in. Here is the golf wrap. And they come in these like little individual packages. So let's see if they are, hopefully one is big enough to do the big section. And I'm hoping that, oh yeah, it's got self-stick on it, so that is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap these. It's weird it says champion on it, but that's okay. So I am going to just wrap these around like so and get started on it. Let's start with this one. And I am going to start on this end here. And let's see, I'll make sure I do this right. Okay, it looks like it comes almost all the way to the edge here. So we're going to start a little bit off so there's a little bit of coloring there. So there's one piece of the grip, and then, let's see, I don't know if it's going to be enough to do that top end there, so I'm going to get a whole new set. It came with 6 of these, so, but we are going to start, let's see, I want to make sure I'm, okay, so I'm going to go this way. Use my snipples and let's go another round here. And then I like this angle a little bit better so it's not as bulky, and I will get some of that grip tape. Do the same with this, make it a little less bulky. Here we go. For that black grip tape that I had, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. And there's the finished prop. All the way from the tip here. I did use some of the tape here to kind of even out the tip here. I got the little detailed lines in there, shaded a little bit darker silver, my little button, and the end piece here. Very happy with how it came out. What do you think? So if you want to see any more cosplay on a budget videos, like and subscribe. Finished. It's a pretty good size, I think. There we go. Now Reno's left-handed, so it'll be more like this. I just tased my little kitty. Thanks for joining me. It's been fun.